Hello everyone. If you are a beginner and want to stitch a simple dress for yourself, then this video is just for you. Welcome to Learn and Savor. Here are the list of materials you need. Let's start with the front body cutting. Fold the fabric into two layers. I'm taking length of the dress body as 15 inches and the ready width is 9 inches, but I'm taking 10.5 inches for enough space. Mark the required edges. Let's mark the shoulder point as 6.5 inches and neck width as 4 inches. First mark half an inch from the shoulder point and then take 7 inches for the armhole and draw a straight line. Draw an arm curve. Now let's mark the neck. I'm taking 5 inches neck depth. You can take depending on your design. I'm drawing a curve as I planned for a round neck. If you want a square neck, you can give a square shape. We have to draw a slant line for the half an inch that we marked earlier. Now let's mark the princess cut. I'm taking 6 inches from the shoulder point and now I'm marking 9.5 inches, which is my apex length. Take 4 inches from the start and mark your apex point. Now take 3.5 inches, which is my bust span, and I'm giving 1 inch for the dart. Now join these two as a triangle to the apex point. Join the apex point to the mark that we did at the arm and give a princess shape just as shown in the video. Now cut the fabric along the marking. And for here you have to mark along the curved line and cut out the dart that we have marked. Now let's cut the back side of the dress. I'm taking 0.25 inches for the zipper because the back side I'm attaching a zipper, so I'm just leaving that little space, and all other markings are similar to front body cut. You can even place your front piece on top of it and I can mark it, but I'm showing it differently because we have done a princess cut. So you have to take your shoulder measurement, armhole measurement, everything is exactly similar to how we have done for the front side. For the back neck, I'm taking only 4 inches, whereas in the front we have taken 5. Here I'm taking 4 inches and it's the same as the round neck. Cut the fabric along the marked lines. For the bottom, you have to take one edge of your fabric and join to another edge diagonally. This is just a demo on how we cut the umbrella shape. So now to take the markings, you have to divide your waist, divide by 1.57 and mark the exact equal points from the tip. And verify if it is coming to your waist measurement. Draw a curve by joining all the marked points. And for length of the dress, I'm taking 34 inches. You can take less or more depending on your desired length. Now cut the fabric along the marked lines. Make sure you give a curved shape. And now I'm cutting the main fabric by taking the lining as a reference. Let's move on to the stitching. Stitch along the neckline Make sure you have placed your lining on top of the main fabric on the right side. Later we will be reversing the fabric. Let's make tiny cuts along the neckline. This will help the fabric sit flat and smooth when we turn it inside out. Give a slight press along the lining attachment. Now I am attaching the lining and the main fabric on the back side neck. Don't miss to add these notches. Repeat the same on the other half fabric that we have cut on the back side. Turn the fabric inside out and give it a press. After turning inside out, you attach along the cut area with the main fabric. Place your lining fabric and the main fabric on right side each other. Now we have to attach the main fabric to the front side and then attach the lining on the back side so that we can hide the stitches that we have done. Place the pin along the line where we want to stitch. Attach the fabrics carefully by removing the pins. Now you can see the stitch is hidden. Repeat the same on the other side. Make sure you use the pin to attach the fabrics and later remove while stitching so that it will avoid the slippage of the fabrics. Especially when you are working with a smooth fabrics, the pins are really necessary. Now our front part is almost ready. Stitch along the edges by carefully placing your lining and the main fabric. I want to hide the stitches for the zipper as well, so I'm again turning and stitching along the line, and later I'll be turning inside out so that where we attach the zipper, that side of the fabric will be clean and the stitch is hidden. For the stiffness, I'm again stitching on top of it. Repeat the same on the other half. Now let's join the shoulder. Here again I'm using a trick to hide the stitches. Add a pin to secure the fabrics and then stitch. You can see now the stitch is hidden on both the sides. Repeat the same on the other shoulder. Now let's attach the lining and the main fabric for the back side. Trim out the excess fabrics. To add the darts on the back side, I'm taking 4 inches from the zipper side and mark 5 inches straight line. I'm taking 1 inch dart, so mark half inch on both the sides and connect the lines to the tip. Repeat the same on the other half. Secure the fabric with a pin. Hold the fabric on the straight line and then stitch along the slant line. Repeat the same on the other half. Fold the fabric on the straight line and then stitch along the slant lines. Now our darts are done. Now let's cut the sleeves. So I'm folding the fabric into 2 layers and then again turning them to make it 4 layers. Secure the fabric with the pins. I'm taking 4 inches length and 12 inches of width. Since our sleeves is a pleated, you don't need to give a proper sleeve shape. You can just mark the tips that I have marked here. Give a little curve shape so that it looks very flowy. Cut along the marked line. And cut the bottom edges. Stitch one side of the fabric by double folding it. Repeat the same on the other sleeves as well. Now let's add pleats to the sleeve. I'm not following any fixed measurements here since the sleeve is only covering half of the armhole. It's more like a extended shoulder design with pleats, so which will leave the rest of the armhole open. So you can start adding the pleats from the edges itself. Just leave a little space at the edge to attach it to the shoulder. Now let's attach the sleeve to the shoulder. First mark the midpoint of both the sleeves and the armhole. Then align the midpoint and start attaching the sleeve from the center towards both the sides. Secure it with a pin to make the stitching easier and more accurate. Carefully stitch along the line and remove the pins. Now again I want to hide the stitches along the shoulder and the armhole curve. You can skip this step if you want to overlock it. I'm cutting a piece of lining fabric to the desired length to neatly cover those stitches and give it a clean finish. So I'm stitching along the armhole and the shoulder point, and then I'm double folding it to cover the stitches. Repeat the same steps to attach the other sleeve. Now let's attach the sides. I'm stitching on right side again to hide the stitches. Now I'll turn it and then stitch with the right measurements. Now let's verify if the body is actually matching the waist measurement, because we will be attaching our bottom part to this. Now I'm cutting the bottom lining by placing the main fabric as a reference. Make sure to keep the lining slightly shorter than the main fabric. Stitch the edges of both lining and the main fabric. You can also use a zigzag stitch along the edge. It's just not only secure the fabric but also gives it more flowy and finished look. But here I'm using a normal stitch. Now let's attach the lining to the main fabric by stitching along both the side seam and the waistline. Look at the image for the reference. Now attach the bottom part to the top bodice we stitched earlier. Make sure the circumference of both pieces matches. If there is a slight mismatch, you can add a dart on either on the top or the bottom fabric to adjust the width. Now it's time to attach the zipper. I'm using an invisible zipper, and it's best to choose one that matches your fabric color. And I don't have an invisible zipper foot, so I'm using a regular pressure foot. It's a bit tricky but manageable. Just make sure to stitch as close as the zipper teeth as possible for a neat finish. After stitching one side of the zipper, mark the other side to ensure a perfect alignment. Now just open the zipper and then secure it in place with the pins before stitching. Follow the same steps and make sure you stitch as close as possible to the zipper teeth. Now stitch the bottom part of the fabric just above the zipper to close the remaining opening. Stitch all the way till the end. I was left with some extra fabric at the bottom, so I just trimmed it out and double folded the raw edges and gave it a final finishing. Now secure the bottom of the zipper by adding few rough stitches to hold it in place. Finish the zipper end by folding it inward so that the zipper tip will stay hidden. And we are done. This is the final look of the dress. Let me know in the comments if you found this helpful and feel free to share your feedback. I would really love to improve in my next videos. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.